Hi there, people. What's up? I hope that you're fine wherever you are. Uh, my name is Mary. If you're new to my channel, if you're a returning subscriber, as always, welcome back home. So, I had mentioned at the start of the week that I will be attending a workshop. So, the workshop has not come to an end. Today was day 5, and then tomorrow will be day 6, and it will be the end of the workshop. So I had mentioned that the workshop is meant for girls, and especially teenage girls that are in high school. So these are the girls that are from this region of Trans Nzoia. So someone may ask, like, why is it that boys were not part of the workshop? And the reason is simple. This organization, its target for this particular holiday was meant for the girls, and therefore they picked girls from the school that I teach in, and then we have also girls from some of the neighboring schools that are within. And we've had an amazing session, very informative, a lot of knowledge, that has been brought up by the organization, a lot of information that is very helpful from the girls. And I thought of sharing some important aspects that any parent that has a girl can consider, so that you understand how best to upbring your daughter. Because the truth is, most of the girls face a lot of challenges as compared to boys. So if you are a parent to a daughter, you know what I'm talking about. So there are some challenges that they raised. There are quite a number, so I don't know whether it't can be clear, though you can't maybe read properly because I'm using the front part of my camera. So there are so many so many issues that affect girls. There are quite a number, up to 23. But I'm going just to pick a few that are main, and then in the next video, I'll keep on sharing. And also in the process, I'm also making my cup of tea. You can hear some noise outside. My children are out there playing, and especially my daughter. She kind of is a lover of camera. I think I'm influencing her at a younger age, and she will end up becoming maybe a great YouTuber. That is, if that is what she will like. So I want to make a cup of tea just to pass the evening as I talk out with my viewers. So I'm going to mention these challenges that usually affect girls. So the first thing that they brought in the conversation is on sexual harassment. And I don't know whether you're going to agree with me. If you were to talk to these girls, these teenagers, they're going to be very open with you, and they'll mention some of the harassment that they have faced. So I want to fetch some water from the tap. So some of the sexual harassment that they have undergone, and especially in the hands of people that they trust so much. So who are these people? These people could be a close relative, maybe an uncle, sometimes fathers. Just imagine a father. And then sometimes brothers, neighbors, cousins. Mention, the list is endless. And you're going to realize that these people are very close to them. And they are the kind of people that you cannot even suspect as a parent. Just imagine entrusting your daughter with maybe your brother, or maybe a cousin, or whoever. And then in the process, you realize that your daughter was sexually harassed. And remember, when they're sharing at this point, it doesn't mean that it happened recently. Some of these cases are things that happened while they were in primary school, or maybe when they were even before they went to school. They're just talking about their experience and what they have also seen other girls undergoing. And therefore this point is very important, and kind of cautioning parents that have daughters. So once you have your daughter, you cannot just entrust your daughter with anybody. Don't trust people around them. Sometimes it is quite unfortunate, because these people that even sexually harass our own daughters are their fathers. So you can imagine, if your husband or maybe your partner or a boyfriend, whatever they are to you, if they can sexually harass your child, who, who is safe? Who can we entrust our children to? And then the other aspect are these cousin, the cousin thing. Sometimes we trust so much these relatives, like sometimes over the holiday you can allow your daughter to interact with their cousins. I'm not saying that interacting with them is not okay, but now the question is, as they interact, who knows what happens around them? And then sometimes you may realize that older cousins take advantage of the younger ones, and that is where the problem is. So you can imagine your daughter, maybe she's 8 years old, and there's an older cousin who is in high school, and then this older cousin takes advantage of this innocent girl who is just 8 years old. Who do you think is going to protect such children? And therefore, let's be vigilant. As much as we are relatives or whatever you are to that particular person, just be vigilant. Observe changes in behavior. What is your daughter trying to communicate to you? And are you present to listen to what they are saying? Are you present? Because if you are not present, if you're not a good listener, if you're too judgmental, then they may end up not talking to you. So let's think about it. And sometimes even this sexual harassment could be from teachers, male teachers that we trust or entrust our children with. So sometimes they can harass the daughters that are entrusted in their hands. And because they are harassed, you realize that they have no one to turn to. So if you have taken your child to a boarding school, and then there's that male teacher that you maybe is spraying your child, what can you do? Just go to the relevant authority, report them, speak out. Don't let it go under the mat. Just speak about it. Because number one, as a teacher, you must be a role model. That is just by default, a role model. You should lead by example. So these daughters, sometimes they are harassed in the hands of people that we trust. People like parents, fathers, to be categorical, and then teachers, church leaders. Don't even trust those pastors and all that. Don't trust them. Just know that there's that limit that they can go to. But don't just allow them to be all over your daughters. And then the other thing that was brought out is on early pregnancies. So it is a challenge that is affecting most of the girls, and not just in this region, but all over the world. You may realize that we have a lot of girls dropping out of school, and the reason is because of early pregnancies. And now the question we can ask ourselves is, when these girls become pregnant, what happens to them? There are some girls, when the pregnancy issue comes out, they are supported by their parents to commit or to undergo abortion. Apart from that, some are just told to go and get married. That is early marriage. Another problem, it's just like you're coming from the frying pan into the fire, from pregnancy to early marriage. And then some are even disowned by their own parents. So those are some aspects, some truths of the things that are happening around us. So what can you do if your daughter becomes pregnant in school? We are not saying that this is something that we should support. Or this is something that should be celebrated. Of course, girls they're just supposed to undergo education and then get babies when the time is right, but not when they're students. But in case it happens, what can you do as a parent? So as a parent, you can support your daughter by first accepting that it has happened. Give them the moral support that they need, the financial support that they need. Let them go get their babies when the time comes, and then let them go back to school. At least nowadays the government is very specific that a student cannot be chased out of school because of pregnancy. So as a parent to a daughter, it is your role to ensure that in case that happens, they go back to school. How about that? What do you think? Is it something that you can advocate for? And then another challenge that they mentioned that I think is very, very important. And remember, these are challenges that cut across to all girls. So these girls that were at this particular workshop, are acting as a voice to make the society understand some of the factors, some of the challenges that they are facing. Another thing that they talked about is discrimination. So they are discriminated. And who does the discrimination? Guess who does the discrimination? And you'll let me just pick a cup here so that I can take my tea. So there's a lot of discrimination. And this discrimination comes right from home. They are discriminated from their brothers. And the first people that introduce discrimination are parents. So as a parent to sons and daughters, what are you supposed to do to ensure that there's no discrimination? And it's just simple, depending with how you're going to look at it. So avoid discriminating your children, especially basing on gender. So don't discriminate them basing on gender. Allow them to go to school equally, like let them get equal education opportunity. When it comes to house chores and all that, allow your children, both boys and girls, to participate in the activities that are taking place at home, so that one gender does not feel biased. There are some girls who talked about parents giving priority to paying school fees to their brothers as compared to them. So they feel that that discrimination is not okay because they are left out. And since they are left out and maybe they do not have a voice, we all understand that we come from different communities or different tribes with different cultures. There are some particular cultures that do not even allow girls to speak, and therefore because they don't have a voice, who is going to speak on their behalf? And that is why I'm sharing this information with parents, and especially parents that have daughters and parents that have, at this point on discrimination, parents that have both daughters and sons, so that you don't discriminate them. And then the fourth thing that I want to do as the last part in this video is on addiction to social behaviors. So what are these social behaviors? You're going to realize that these are things that are happening around the society, around the community. It could be taking alcohol, indulging in, premarital sex. It is something that is happening. And hello parents, open your eyes. It is happening and it is there. And then another social behavior are maybe doing drugs and all that, partying, using social media and all that. So all those factors that I've mentioned on social behaviors derails them from their main focus. It derails them because they want to fit, to this particular group, and because they want to fit, then all their focus will be on pleasing their peers or being part of their peers, and therefore they are going to lose focus in their education. During this holiday, you may think your child is studying, but they're not studying. They are busy out there TikToking. Do you know they have TikTok accounts? I'm not saying it's bad, but how often do they frequent, the social media? So let me take a sip. So how often do they frequent social media? And how often do they go out for partying, even without parents being aware? And remember, these are girls. So we will go back to the first challenge. They are going to, we are going to have cases of early pregnancies. We are going to have cases of other challenges that are going to come into place, like early pregnancies. They are going to contract diseases. It may lead to abortion. It may lead to so many other challenges that we would not want, we would not want them to happen to our daughters. So it is high time that we become vigilant. How often do you have a conversation with your daughter? Especially if you have one. So talk to them, just talk to them. As a parent, be present as much as you can. I always say, as much as you can. I understand everyone is busy. We are working, we are trying to chase money to ensure that when next term comes, they have school fees. We provide for them food, clothing, shelter, and everything. But the more we become absent, the more we miss out on some of the important things that are happening in their lives. The more we realize that our daughters have a disconnect with us. So as a parent, ensure that you are as present as you can. Create time. Bond with your daughters. I hope you like this. I would love to hear your comments in the comment section. I would love to hear feedback. What do you think? What are some of the other factors do you think are affecting our daughters? The list is endless, as I had said at the start of the video. If I look at my notebook, there are 23. There are 23, meaning that there's so much. You can do up to 10 or 20 videos on this. So think about it, and please watch the video up to the end. Like, subscribe, touch the notification bell so that in the event I upload any video, you're the first to be notified. So please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much, and bye for now.